Open world games might no longer be the most time-consuming kinds of games on mobiles, but they always remain as the most well-received and most hyped. We get a handful of open world games every month, and only a number of them really worthy of mention. That being said, here's 20 amazing open world games you should definitely try on your Android and iOS devices today. First things first, Grand Mobile is sitting on the Play Store and also the App Store as of last week, and it's been the literal crown jewel of all mobile games ever since in replay, quality, action, and combat. This gem is actually an action fighting open world adventure with really good looking graphics and super smooth gameplay, almost as good as the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on consoles, not even mobiles. There's one problem: the game is halfway in Russian, but made so simple you can easily get the hang of. If you want to play something just as fun, but kind of smaller in size, although not scale, you might want to go ahead with Grau Art. It's another open world Brazil-based Grand Theft Auto style action adventure, legitimately the best and most insanely well-made Grau game we've ever had hands on since last we had one of these. I mean, the game's since last week downloaded almost 1 million times and sitting on the Play Store with a 4.9 in rating. Worse as the game is actually in the making for the iOS, and this is for those of you who missed it, in-game footage. Coming up behind that, by the biggest Russian mobile game developer we've got over here, Russian Driver. These folks have made over 12 more offline mobile games, all with the same scale and quality. Russian Driver is an open world driving and adventure. Not only you have the fancy to ride cars, but then trucks, bikes, SUVs, and even sports cars. Quite realistic game for the 300 megabytes it's just asking for. Plays offline all the way and has been getting updates pretty regularly. Been available in Korea for over 2 years now. Moonlight Blade finally made it over to the West in English, and it's right now, if not the best in replay overall, actually one of the most graphically advanced mobile games released so far. Well, first of all, the game's huge in scale. It's almost 4 gigabytes big. It's an MMORPG with graphical options for low-end devices and low-end networks as well. Highly suggest picking this one if you have a decent phone. It's got a pretty good story actually, good gameplay, chain combos, and everything. When the game was actually released officially last week, it had quite a few bugs, but ever since, developers have been making many improvements. Played it. Coming in at number 5, we've got over here technically the most underrated open world mobile game of all time you can find. Absolutely no bugs or options the developers might have missed since the new patch. In case you missed it, we've got Rio Crime City. In my opinion, the prime example of how a mobile game should be made, especially the open world games. Definitely one of the best substitutes for Grand Theft Auto, even the San Andreas if you played it or couldn't afford it. Works offline, easy to control, great graphics, adjustable as much as you want, and quite free all the way.
But if you're ready for the smallest,
been around for over 7 months, although through pre-registration phase, available globally since last week, if you missed it. At number 6, we have Micro Survivor. It's almost the same deal as a previous game. I'm sure most of you remember the PC game Grounded. It's a minimalistic action, semi-open world strategy where you have to build the fan and occasionally fight off bugs like 20 times the size of your character. So free game over about 1 gigabyte in total. Moving on to number 7, quick honorable mention over here, Truck Masters India is, I think, the finest truck driving, transportation and heavy cargo sim game we've actually come across for months, if not a whole year. The game is as realistic as a PlayStation 4 port and offers a wide range of trucks, terrains, cities and missions to keep you engaged for a long time. There's only one problem: the game is just on the Play Store, promised to be coming to iOS soon. I'm pretty sure you're already familiar with the Grau games we mentioned earlier with number 2, but just in case, well, they're basically Brazilian versions of Grand Theft Auto games or something like that. Now, we get a bunch of them every year, and a few of them are pretty good. Speaking of which, we've got over here another one gone by the name Motos Grau Brazil. It's another action driving and open world adventure, so far rated a 4.5 on over 100,000 downloads. You're a delivery man against a whole wide range of customization options and a lot of missions. 10 out of 10, especially if you do understand Latin. That being said, guys, at number 9, even though it's been out for a whole month now, we've got over here still the best game in scale in the list. Goat Simulator 3 is first off a $13 mobile adventure comedy action open world that most of you already know from its previous iterations on the Play Store or Steam. It's a phenomenal port that works offline with the controller. All you need to take into account is that the game is about $13 and it really doesn't have a lot of graphical options, and you might run into troubles because of that. If you've got a beefy phone, the game is 100 out of 10 in replay. Coming in at number 10, the second biggest Grand Theft Auto competitive and mobile gaming world, some of you might already be familiar with its beta, would be Gangstar New York. Well, it's the latest work of the Gangstar series, which offers graphics more advanced than any of its previous iterations and social activities. Your goal is to become just the richest player in the city by stealing more cash than anyone else in 20-minute matches. As just a reminder, the game is coming out by the end of the month. And of course, we've got over here once again One Punch Man World. Most of you are already familiar with the concept. The game's released since last week. It's now officially available on both stores and out of its pre-registration phase. One Punch Man World is the first open world action adventure fighting game in the series with gacha and RPG elements, playable online, and for some of you it's about 20 gigabytes, if not 15 gigabytes in size. It's a totally free to play game, and if it's maybe too big to handle, here's some honorable mentions.
Take part in an epic adventure. Explore a huge and dangerous world. Cooperate on your couch. Play with your kids. Have fun with your friends. Customize a unique character. Manage your hero. Upgrade skills and use superpowers. Complete quests and make choices. Become a part of an interesting story.
分，有天心肠，咫尺天涯。一纵没有天涯，无处已回家。再叹浮尘难扫灵台的繁杂，三痕烟上雪融化，年年春归不知花。
Ah, the due reward for one so diligent. Order is here. Clarity and prudence shall serve to support you. The wrath of order! Thunder